Have you ever walked into a place you've never seen before, and somehow known exactly what was around the corner? Have you ever met a stranger and felt as if you had known them for years? Or maybe you've experienced a moment so familiar that it felt like you were reliving a memory, even though you knew it had never happened before. Most people call this déjà vu. Science calls it a memory glitch, a simple error in the brain, a brief confusion between the present and the past. But what if that's only part of the story? What if the feeling is real? What if déjà vu is not a mistake at all? What if it is a glimpse behind the curtain of reality itself? Because for thousands of years, long before modern neuroscience existed, ancient civilizations believed these strange moments carried a deeper meaning, a hidden meaning, a forbidden meaning, an occult meaning. And once you understand what they believed, you may never look at déjà vu the same way again. The strange thing about déjà vu is that it feels different from ordinary memory. When you remember something, you know where the memory came from. You remember the place, the people, the event. But déjà vu is different. The familiarity arrives without an explanation. You recognize something you've never experienced. And that creates a question that has haunted philosophers, mystics, and spiritual seekers for centuries. How can you remember something that never happened? The ancient Greeks had a fascinating answer. They believed the soul existed before birth. According to certain philosophical traditions, the soul possessed knowledge long before entering the physical world. Life itself was not about learning new things, it was about remembering forgotten truths. From this perspective, déjà vu was not a malfunction, it was a brief moment of recollection. A crack in the wall separating ordinary awareness from a deeper reality. Imagine that for a moment. Imagine your consciousness is far older than your body. Imagine that hidden somewhere beneath your daily thoughts lies a vast reservoir of forgotten experiences. Wouldn't a sudden flash of recognition make sense? Wouldn't it explain why some moments feel strangely familiar? History. Ancient Egyptian traditions spoke of the soul's journey through multiple realms of existence. Certain Eastern teachings described cycles of reincarnation stretching across countless lifetimes. Mystics from many cultures suggested that the human mind remembers far more than it consciously realizes. Different cultures, different languages, different centuries, yet the same mysterious idea kept appearing. The feeling that reality is bigger than it seems, and that occasionally, something leaks through. But things become even stranger when we examine what many occult traditions believed. In esoteric teachings, reality was often compared to a dream. Not a dream in the sense that nothing is real, a dream in the sense that our perception is limited. We see only a small fraction of what truly exists. Just as a fish cannot comprehend the entire ocean, human beings may be unable to perceive the full structure of reality. According to these traditions, moments of déjà vu occur when awareness briefly expands beyond its normal boundaries. For a fraction of a second, the mind touches something larger, something hidden, something that usually remains invisible. Think about the last time you experienced déjà vu. The feeling probably lasted only a few seconds. Yet during those seconds, certainty appeared. Not suspicion, not imagination, certainty. You felt absolutely convinced that the moment had happened before. Why is that certainty so powerful? Why does it feel more real than ordinary memories? Some occult thinkers believe the answer lies in the nature of time itself. We tend to imagine time as a straight line, past, present, future, one event after another, simple, orderly, predictable. But many mystical traditions proposed a radically different possibility. What if all moments exist simultaneously? What if the past, present, and future are not separate at all? What if they are simply different locations within a larger structure? Imagine standing outside a winding road. You can see the beginning, the middle, and the end all at once. Someone standing on the road cannot. They only see the section directly in front of them. According to certain esoteric teachings, human consciousness usually experiences reality from inside the road, but occasionally something unusual happens. A brief shift occurs, and for a split second, awareness glimpses another section of the path. The result? Déjà vu, a strange recognition, a feeling that you've already been here, because in some sense perhaps you have, not physically, but through a deeper layer of consciousness. Now, before dismissing this as fantasy, consider something fascinating. Even modern physicists continue to debate the true nature of time. The universe is far stranger than most people realize. Reality often behaves in ways that seem impossible from an everyday perspective. While science does not support occult interpretations of déjà vu, it does remind us of something important. Our intuition about reality is not always correct. The universe has surprised humanity countless times before, and it may continue to do so. Another occult explanation involves the concept of destiny. Many ancient traditions believe that certain events in life are predetermined. Not every event, but key events, critical encounters, major turning points, important lessons. According to this view, the soul enters life with a blueprint, a map, a path designed for growth and transformation. When a person approaches one of these significant moments, a feeling of familiarity may emerge. Why? Because at some level, the event was expected. The soul recognizes it even if the conscious mind does not. This idea appears repeatedly in stories throughout history, and feeling an immediate sense of recognition. Travelers arriving in distant cities and feeling inexplicably at home. Individuals encountering life-changing opportunities that somehow feel destined. Skeptics call it coincidence. Believers call it confirmation. And the debate continues. But perhaps the most intriguing interpretation comes from the world of dreams. Many occult traditions viewed dreams as more than random mental activity. They believed dreams could provide access to information unavailable during waking life. Messages, symbols, warnings, possibilities. According to these teachings, the soul may experience future events while dreaming. Not in perfect detail, not like watching a movie, but through fragments, symbols, impressions, pieces of information. Then, weeks, months, or even years later, the real-life event occurs. Suddenly it feels familiar. Not because it happened before, but because part of it was already encountered in another state of consciousness. This explanation may sound unbelievable, yet countless people report experiences that seem remarkably similar, moments that appear first in dreams, then later emerge in reality. Coincidence? Pattern recognition? Something deeper? Nobody knows for certain. And that uncertainty is exactly what makes the phenomenon so fascinating. Because despite all our technology, despite all our scientific progress, déjà vu remains partially mysterious. Researchers have identified possible neurological mechanisms, memory processing errors, timing mismatches, recognition system anomalies. These explanations provide valuable insights, yet they do not completely erase the mystery of the experience itself. The feeling remains powerful, personal, unforgettable. And perhaps that's why humanity continues to search for deeper answers, not because science has failed, but because the experience touches something profound inside us, something ancient, something existential, something that forces us to ask uncomfortable questions. Who are we? What is consciousness? How much of reality do we actually perceive? And what if there are aspects of existence that remain beyond our current understanding? These questions have inspired philosophers, spiritual teachers, and seekers for thousands of years. And they continue to inspire people today. Because deep down, many of us suspect there's more to reality than meets the eye. We sense it during moments of awe, moments of wonder, moments of synchronicity, and especially during moments of déjà vu. Those brief seconds when reality feels strangely familiar, when time seems to hesitate, when certainty appears without explanation, when the ordinary world suddenly becomes mysterious again. Maybe déjà vu is merely a quirk of the brain. Maybe it is a memory illusion created by neural processes we do not yet fully understand. Or maybe ancient traditions were pointing towards something deeper, a hidden dimension of consciousness, a forgotten memory, a glimpse beyond linear time, a reminder that reality is far stranger than we imagine. The truth is that nobody knows with absolute certainty, and perhaps that is exactly the point. Some mysteries resist easy answers. Some questions remain valuable precisely because they remain unanswered. Déjà vu may be one of those questions. A doorway that invites curiosity rather than certainty. A puzzle that encourages exploration rather than conclusion. The next time it happens to you, don't rush to dismiss it. Pause for a moment. Pay attention. Notice the feeling. Notice the certainty. Notice the strange familiarity. And ask yourself a simple question. What if this experience is trying to tell me something? Not necessarily something mystical, but something meaningful, something worth exploring. Because whether déjà vu is a neurological phenomenon, a psychological mystery, or a glimpse into deeper layers of existence, it serves the same purpose. It reminds us that reality still contains unanswered questions. And sometimes the most important discoveries begin with a moment that makes no sense at all. A moment that feels impossible. A moment that shouldn't exist. A moment that whispers that the world may be far stranger than we have been led to believe. And perhaps, just perhaps, that whisper is the real secret behind déjà vu.